Hi guys, today I will show you all the infinite Jujutsu domain expansions, and I will rank them on a tier list. As the first domain, we will use the one of Gojo, the Unlimited Void.
領域展開無料空所
The cutscene is really good. So basically, inside the domain, every player and NPC besides the one who unleashed the domain will be stunned for a limited time or until a certain damage is dealt. Certain moves and stats will also be buffed while Unlimited Void is casted. Let's rank it and go to the next domain. For Gojo domain, I'll give an A tier because it can be really good for anything, but it doesn't do that much. Now we have got Mahito domain.
領域展開やられるこれはさすがに自分の才能に
The cutscene is really good.
俺って俺こそが呪いだ
Regular attacks apply transfiguration stacks, and you gain increased damage and defenses. The sure hit effect does not work on bosses. You can use it on them from afar, however it does not pop the transfiguration stacks. So in order to do damage, you need to be close like the regular soul touch attack. That's the domain. I'll give a B tier because it can be pretty good for PvP, but for farming bosses it's useless. Now we have Malevolent Shrine from Sukuna or Demon Vessel.
領域展開
That's one of my favorite. Trapping another user in the domain's expansion will cause them to be relentlessly attacked in a frenzy of slashes. Heavenly Restriction users are not affected by this domain's passive. While in the domain, you also gain a bonus to increased damage and defense, while also enhancing Cleave to cast instantly, and Dismantle to bypass block. Additionally, Flame Arrow becomes chantable, creating a massive explosion in the domain. This variation requires a quest to unlock it, and is only usable inside the domain. I'll give it an S tier. It's very good for anything. Now we have Hikari domain, Idle Death Gamble. Activates your domain expansion, which allows you to fill up your fever meter. Upon filling the fever meter, a short animation will begin as the song Tuka Donka by Curse Devil starts to play, signifying you have won the jackpot of the Idle Death Gamble domain. During this state, you gain reduced cooldowns, increased damage, and improved speed. This will further enhance your physical and sorcery abilities, as well as put you under the constant effect of the slow RCT skill in the health tree, regenerating health at no cost to you. To put it in simpler terms, for the entire duration of the jackpot, you are an unkillable god. Unless someone manages to deal enough damage to immediately kill you while you are in this state. Also, when you are in domain, Slot Slam will spawn 5 machines instead of 1. Here is a clip. I'll give B tier because it's good for defense, but I don't think it's that much. Now we have Yuta domain, called Unequivocal Love.
心願相愛
Rika's domain expansion that enhances her abilities within the domain, increasing damage and allows the user to grab special katanas that grant the user random moves from any technique in the game, except domains and I think maximums. As you can see, now I have Gojo and Sukuna abilities. And that's the domain. I'll put it on an A tier because it can be really broken sometimes. Now we have Yuki domain called Celestial Opera. This ability creates a celestial-themed domain that amplifies the user's abilities and traps opponents within. Celestial Opera is excellent for turning the tide in both PvP and PvE, as it limits enemy mobility and maximizes your offensive potential, by giving you permanent max mass meter for its duration. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to put it. Maybe on B tier? Nah, I'll put it on C tier. Now we have Master Construction domain. Using this domain expansion will grant you 2 times faster flight, change the amount of dashes with Metal Dash from 3 to 5, causes Metal Rain to summon 5 times instead of 1, and will give you 5 total usages of True Sphere. Within this domain, also gain increased damage and defense. I'll give it an A tier. It gives many effects. Now we have Jogo domain, Coffin of the Iron Mountain. A domain centered around an erupting volcano. The extreme heat inside inflicts continuous fire damage and burns, requires a full domain gauge to activate. It's a bit like Sukuna domain, but slower. I'll give it an D tier. It's useless with anything. Now we have Hydrokinesis domain, Horizon of the Captivating Skanda. Trapping an opponent in this domain transports both to a lush island paradise. Using Death Swarm within the domain will hit all enemies inside. All attacks apply the wet status effect. Heavenly Restraint users are unaffected. The user deals more damage inside the domain. This is a D tier too. Now we have Judgment domain, Deadly Sentencing. The user casts domain expansion, Deadly Sentencing, which takes on the form of a court. The user will then engage in rock, scissor, paper with the target. Win grants the user the Executioner's Sword, which deals high damage. Tie target's techniques is confiscated temporarily, unable to use techniques. Loss. Regular domain buffs. This is really good for bosses and maybe PvP too. It'll give S tier. Now we have Thunder God domain called Ragin. I don't know much about this domain, but it should make enemies slower and weaker, and they should get damage after sometimes. I put it on a B tier. Now we have Projection Domain, Time Cell Moon Palace. By casting this domain expansion, opponents will be locked into 24 frames per second while under the watchful eye. When your opponent is blocking, punching, heavying, or using a skill, it will activate the eye. If they attempt to perform another action before the eye has closed, then they will take damage and become frozen for not obeying the 24 frames per second rule. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. B tier. Now we have Plant Manipulation Domain, Blooming Ocean of Flowers. While in this domain, all opponents are afflicted with the Curse Rose status effect, which makes everyone's cooldowns 50% longer. Also changes the function of Field of Tranquility and Hexseed's attacks. I'll give it D tier. I don't think someone would use that. Now we have Yuji Domain, Hometown Memories. Every 10 seconds, all opponents will receive a skill check, and a consequential failure to complete the skill check will cause your opponents to be damaged and stunned, resulting in you gaining 30% soul style per person affected. In addition, End the Cycle will automatically execute at 40% remaining HP instead of 30%. It's a beautiful domain too. I would give an S tier, but I'm not sure about that, but I'll give it an A tier. And that all the tier list will give you a bit to watch it. Okay guys, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoy watching it, and I hope you approve my decisions. Now have a great day, I think. Bye.